What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about 12 reasons why Canada is the best country in the world. What? What are we trying to say here? Canada, the best country in the world? I might be a little biased on this, I won't deny it. Actually, in all honesty, I don't know if there's really an exercise here to be had that's productive in trying to name the best country in the world. I think all sorts of countries have all of their like attributes that make them amazing in different ways. But that's the politically correct answer. And I'm here for the spicy answer. I'm willing to listen to this. I'm willing to hear this video out. 12 reasons why Canada, above all, is the best country in the most respectful, fun way in the world. I'm looking forward to this. This sounds interesting to me. I will try to, you know what? I'll be looking at it through the lens of an American, but also understanding that from what I've seen, there is a lot of pretty cool stuff in Canada. So this might sway me. I don't know.
Ah, Canada, the Great White North, the country which is very highly regarded across the world. Personally,
True.
I've never heard a bad word spoken about this beautiful country. From the freezing cold,
Yeah.
raw north to the clean, metropolitan, bustling cities, Canada has it all.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's the narrator they hired or the script, but this intro does make Canada sound pretty epic. How are they doing this?
The polite, maple syrup, ice hockey loving people are renowned across the world as being some of the friendliest, most welcoming citizens in the world.
True.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Geography Bible.
Very true.
We'll give you 12 reasons why we think Canada is the best country in the world.
Okay.
If you are Canadian watching this video, then feel free to comment below, confirming or voicing your opinion on our points.
I'll have to check that out, the comments.
So let's kick off this video with number 12, the people. Canadians are funny, friendly, easygoing, welcoming, kind, and polite. Of course, however, this doesn't mean that every single Canadian is friendly, as no country is perfect.
You know, this might be one of the best arguments in the whole video. I have time and time and time again in most of the stuff I've seen and learned, different stuff on YouTube I've watched on Canada. It always comes back to people saying the Canadian people are amazing, polite, nice, almost without any discrepancy in that reporting. Everyone seems to agree that Canadians are awesome, nice people. What the heck? That's certainly. I don't think I would give that description to Americans as a whole. I think it's more polarized, where you can meet some really big jerks, some real like mean, rude Americans, and you could bump into the kindest, most generous, polite Americans that you'll ever meet. So there's just a huge diversity of I don't know, personalities, a huge diversity of people, and all the states have their own kind of personalities. Just so many people here, so many different kinds of culture here, that you never quite know what you're going to get with an American, and I think that makes it kind of fun, honestly.
But overall, Canadians are seen as some of the friendliest people in the world.
Yeah.
In my eyes, they are quite similar to Australians, where everyone seems to be everyone else's mate until proven otherwise.
True,
The
true.
outdoor lifestyle and the great quality of life, as well as the great education, means that people are generally happy and respect each other. Number 11, Canada is culturally diverse and accepting. The country is pretty progressive and very multicultural. When you
Yeah.
move to Canada, you are encouraged to keep your traditions, religion, language, and culture.
Yeah, that's great. Canada is a veritable mix of races, cultures, religions. You have Chinese, Indians, Sri Lankans, West Asians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, Sikhs. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. All coexisting well, and your family would be taken as just another there, and to do it, pretty good healthcare, good education. Yes, that does sound Really, really, really great. I think in America we do a decent job, especially in modern America, as far as my personal experience, I guess, where I've lived in America. Again, this can really vary a lot based on where you live in America. But I tend to find where I live, most of my community is extremely accepting of a totally diverse range of people. So that's great. And it sounds like Canada as a whole, as a nation, does that, which is obviously very good.
In Toronto alone, there are more than 150 languages spoken, and more than 20% of the population of Canada was born abroad. It's not possible to walk down a street in Vancouver or Toronto without hearing a foreign language or catching the scent of some tempting international cuisine.
Wow.
Visit any major city in Canada and you will feel like you're taking a tour to more than just one country. Neighbourhoods like Chinatown, Little Italy, or even Koreatown in Toronto can be found in the major cities and provide an immersive cultural experience for tourists and the natives.
I mean, the way they present it on here makes it sound like Canada is one of the most diverse places ever, at least in the major cities, it sounds like. Oh, look at this chart. The countries most accepting of migrants. Canada, number one. It's the stats. It's the facts. What can you do?
Number 10, it's terrain and climate. You'd be forgiven for thinking Canada is all about mountains and forests, when in fact it boasts some stunning beaches too. Long Beach, which is in Vancouver Island, British Columbia, is probably one of the most famous. Long, sandy shores with scenery to rival any you might see on a postcard from around the world.
Yeah, I have to admit, when I think of Canada, I do not think of beautiful, serene beaches.
This is just one of many amazing beaches Canada-wide. From the Rockies to the Three Sisters, Canada has some serious mountain action going on. Amazing snow-capped peaks offer not only stunning views, but also amazing sporting opportunities.
This is more the stuff that I associate with Canada, and I think most Americans do.
From skiing to hiking to paragliding, if you're into that. Canada has a wonderfully varied climate, from permafrost in the north to a much warmer climate towards the south. In summer, if you're in the right place, temperatures can easily reach 35 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, most Americans kind of assume that all of Canada is in permanent frozen over winter hellscape forever. So, but I've learned it really does change based on how far north or south you are. I think it's just that since Canada is north of the United States, although I learned that some parts of Canada are further south than some parts of the United States, which is just something that would blew my mind. And I know it's like the best kept secret from Americans that huge parts of Canada are more south than America. Anyway, I get lost on that tangent forever.
Autumn in Canada is relatively short, but a wonderful burst of bright colours that you'll look forward to every single year. Number 9, it's nature and landscapes. Words really can't do justice just how beautiful Canada is. It's also massive, and this means that when you want to get away from it all, get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, you really can do. From forests to lakes and mountains, the landscape is varied and raw and gorgeous.
Yeah. I don't know if it's kind of similar to the US where you can escape to some kind of fantastical, magical mountains landscape but it kind of depends on where you are in America. Probably depends on where you are in Canada, how close you are to like a natural wonder or something, or maybe there's just beauty everywhere. But in America, in my experience, you got to get a little lucky with where you live to get something truly as magnificent as the stuff they're showing here in Canada.
Canada is easily one of, if not the most beautiful country in the world. In fact, it made number 1 in our top naturally beautiful countries.
Okay, there you go.
Number 8, spacious big housing. Canadian houses tend to be much larger than the houses in the UK, for example, and at much higher value for money.
Really? This is something I've never heard before. Bigger houses on average. Bigger than the UK, at least. I wonder the average compared to an American house?
This, of course, due in part to the fact that there are lots more space to offer in Canada. You'll find that even the average family home feels a lot more spacious with a big garden, and having room makes it easier for families to get on well. If
Yeah.
everyone has their own space, they are more likely to keep to themselves and cause less problems within the neighborhood. Number 7.
Okay, really speculating there. A bigger house leads to people getting to stay apart so they don't argue. I guess. Hopefully they just get along. Isn't that the ideal situation?
Number 7. The economy, jobs, and high wages. Although Canada's population is relatively low, especially compared to its brother America, it still makes the top 10 largest economies on Earth.
Right, right. I know the Canadian economy is extremely big and strong. When was this made? This was made 1 year ago. Relatively up to date. Okay.
Canada's economy is growing, and growth inspires more need, which opens up all sorts of opportunities for professionals. But
Yeah.
not only are there great opportunities, Canada's laid back and relaxed lifestyle means that there is less of the stress you might experience in your home country.
Is that something most Canadians would agree with in general? Are Canadians living this laid back, relaxed, kind of stress free kind of vibe going on with everybody? Is that a sense that you agree with?
Number 6, the space and the population density. So, very similar to Australia, Canada is the second largest country in the world, only behind Russia. When you are living in a town,
You know, did I know that? I don't think I really knew that. If someone had asked me second largest country in the world, Canada is massive. I just didn't realize it was number 2. But what would be bigger other than Russia? Yeah. Wow.
a village, a neighbourhood, or wherever you are, there is a lot more space to deal with, and homes, of course, are much, much bigger.
Yeah, well, what's the population of Canada? Like 30 million? Canada population 38 million? Yeah, 38 million, which is like 1/9 of the US. So you have 1/9 the people, yet a bigger area to live in. Although I know that some of the territories and stuff and some of the geography to the north of Canada gets really, really sparse with not a lot of people choosing to live there. So, in a sense, that's not even an option for some Canadians. They don't want to live in certain places. But Canada is still massive with the lower population. Yeah, Canadians probably do have a lot more space on average to build stuff.
Canada also has huge parks, conservation areas, and big open spaces. This means a lot of extra breathing room because the country is not overpopulated. Canada is actually
Yeah.
the 11th sparsely populated country in the world. Now, of
Okay.
course, this doesn't apply to all of Canada, as it do have some large cities, but as a whole, the country is very spacious. Number
Yeah.
5, the wildlife. From bobcats to bison, and from beavers to bears, Canada really does have it all. There are
Yeah.
amazing wild animals and birds to be seen across this vast
I've learned about this recently, very recently, in other videos. The wildlife is insane. It keeps you on your toes. That's for sure.
country, and what you see from province to province will completely differ also. Number 4, it's education and healthcare. Similar to the UK's NHS, Canada's Medicare system offers free basic healthcare to everyone, based
Yeah.
on need rather than the ability to pay. It's paid for by the Canadian citizens, pitching in towards the system via their taxes.
This is one of the number one reasons especially during election cycles, you get a lot of Americans. It's like almost a trope at this point. It's like this classic statement from Americans who are unhappy. Well, I'm gonna move to Canada. And some of that is just because they know Canada is filled with really nice people, but it's often because of political issues here, like healthcare and education, and Americans being like, well, I know it's better in Canada, so I'm gonna move there. I'd actually like to see some statistics on how many Americans actually end up moving and living in Canada compared to others around the world. That'd be interesting.
Canada's education system is leaving rivals in the dust. According to surveys run by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, Canada was one of only a handful of countries appearing in the top bracket for maths, science, and reading.
Wow.
Number 3, it's a safe place to live and visit. Canada is considered one of the safest countries in the world due to its overall low crime rates.
I was about to say, it's safe not because the police have to be like insanely top notch and capturing every criminal. That's not the kind of safe. It's safe because the Canadian people as a whole don't commit as much violent crime and crime. That's if I understand.
It's both violent and petty. Due to its overall low crime rates. That's both violent and petty,
Yeah.
and trusted police force. Of course, Canada is no angel. Crime still does occur, especially in the major cities.
Yeah.
But compared to many other major countries, it is very safe. In the
Okay.
global peace rankings, Canada actually ranks at a very impressive 6th place in the world.
That's good. Canada consistently is like in the top of all these metrics. Happiness, economy, safety, population density.
It's also the 16th least corrupt nation in the
Oh.
world. Number 2,
Okay.
Canada has some of the best cities in the world. Cities in Canada are modern, smart, stylish, and very clean. A big attraction for those wanting to travel or move there.
True.
It's perfect for those who like the great outdoors, as well as that urban convenience. Canada's cities are spacious, well designed, and very easy to get around.
Yeah, from what I've seen, from the cities I've seen, they are very modern, or at least have a cool combination of like historical buildings and modern. So, pretty cool.
You can easily live in a large suburban house and commute to work. As in any country, whilst it's true that the bigger cities such as Toronto and Vancouver may be crowded and expensive, you don't have to go far outside the city centre to find a comfortable and affordable lifestyle.
Right. Like how in England, everyone's trying to live around London or be an hour from London. That's like you can do that in Canada, and it's probably not impossible to get somewhere real nice by a major city.
And finally, number 1, it's clean air. It's official, Canadians breathe some of the cleanest air on the planet. A report by the Fraser Institute recently ranked Canada 9th out of the 33 richest and cleanest countries on the planet.
I was not expecting this, especially as number 1. But don't get me wrong, clean air is important. How clean is the air here?
If you're thinking of emigrating to Canada from the UK, this has got to be one of the top draws. Living in a country with clean air is so beneficial to your health and will help to prolong your life.
Okay, well, the air I breathe is pretty clean, I think, so this isn't like a major priority to me. But I suppose if you were moving from another country, this would be pretty important.
So there we have it, 12 reasons why we think Canada is the best country in the world.
Okay.
Of course, just like any other country in the world, it's not perfect. It does have some drawbacks, but we believe that Canada ranks very highly in so many different areas.
It does.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support we've been getting lately. Have a fantastic week.
Okay, there you have it. There you have it. That was by the Geography Bible, by the way, and I give that a like. I liked that. Those were good reasons. They were good, compelling. Oh, I said I was going to look at some comments. I'm Canadian and was feeling nationalist while watching this video. Proud to be a Canadian. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. This was good stuff. Canada owns a great deal of precious fresh water. Just another reason. Okay. As a Canadian, I agree Canada is a beautiful country. The most beautiful place I've been is Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario. Sounds nice. I'm sure there's lots of great parks in Canada. Visited my uncle in Canada. What a wonderful place. So much beautiful nature, so clean, good food, entertainment, fantastic country. The winter was real bad in some places, though. Okay, there's gotta be some kind of drawback to Canada, or else this is just sickening. This is just too much goodness in one place. It's not fair. Okay, A lot of people, a lot of Canadian appreciators in the comments. I don't, it's kind of what I expected. You know, okay, I think for the majority of these, maybe all of them, it sounded like in some form of it or another, there was a leg up on the United States, which, you know, I'm open to. Makes me a little sad because apparently there's a, we could be doing better. But what do we have here? Um, oh, it doesn't actually say. Oh, the people. Yes, the climate, the country. Okay, I won't go over too many of these again. I'm just scrubbing through it. The animals, the healthcare, education. Yeah, some of these. Yeah, this is kind of important stuff, isn't it? Okay. All right. I I don't know if I'm willing to pass judgment overall on the de facto best country in the world. I don't know. That's kind of almost an oh, what's the word? Unnecessary statement to make. But if I had to, I would certainly concede Canada is one of the best countries in the world, without a doubt. No question in my mind. So there you go. You got it out of me. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada, Canadian culture, stuff in Canada, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.